Is when you have their town and their price range, but you haven't gotten them to commit to meet with you yet.
Okay, that's
Right.
where I get confused,
So they used to
someone will
have-
to change the prime.
Back in the day when Mike used to print those out, there used to be like a table
There's a
with a
cheat.
breakdown.
There's
So
a cheat sheet with it.
I think that would be helpful. Where could that be located? Can we print that to have it for the office?
Yeah, that's in the GGMS. The GGMS.
So I think that would be a good
diagram.
starting point so you guys understand the statuses. What they represent and what do you attach. If it's your sphere, obviously you're not gonna put them on certain things because again, it's not gonna add up and make sense.
Yeah, then you,
Password, what's the new password?
Yeah, cause I met with someone
Yeah,
and
change
he
it
was
today.
showing,
G-
but I
they
left
needed
him
it.
as active, cause I
GGMS,
thought that's
all
what it was, I
caps.
didn't realize I had to move him to
2023
prime.
exclamation.
Right.
Alright.
So and everything that comes out automatic, it just again, hey, do you wanna meet? Like, we've been talking for some time, would you like to meet? He already met you. He's like, what? It
Yeah,
doesn't add up.
sometimes I tell them, disregard some of the,
So what
Emails.
triggers this from changing the statuses in the system itself?
What do you mean? What trigger?
Like, if it goes to qualify to something else, like, what in the system is happening if we don't do something that triggers it to go to a different status?
So the only thing, the system won't change the statuses. It might change it from. Let me just see real quick. It might change it from qualify, from new to qualify, because all that means is that you haven't got in touch with them in 45 days have
I've
passed.
never seen any of mine turn automatically to qualify.
No, they don't. So you have to do it afterwards. I think there's a way it tells you. So it's going to, depending on what they've done, right? It's going to send them. It's going to put them on different plans. What's up, my man?
What's up?
So the plans are all towards, because again, these are people you haven't been in touch with. You don't have their towns or price range, right? These are internet leads. So they're gonna get texts. Hey, what areas were you looking in? I see you're on our website. Or hey, do you want updated list of the top 10 price reductions? It'll put them on a 45-day campaign. Text and email them. If they respond, you get notified, and it creates a task for you to do something. Right? Additionally, you can put people on, which we'll get to later. That's going to be GGMS. So first, I want to go over kind of just Sierra in general, because there's a lot of stuff that you guys could do that will help your business. Like one thing, like Preston, for example, you share a lot of listings, and you share it. Flex, I've seen a Redfin link or whatever. What you guys all have, you have a full website with every property for sale on it. And if somebody goes to your website and fills something out, you get the lead. If somebody goes to Redfin and fills something out, somebody at Redfin gets the lead.
Or
Somebody goes to
Realtor or
Zillow
anything, or Zillow.
any of those.
Right.
So you never want to share an external link, right? So when you guys are, let me see if I can emulate. Alright, let me just go to the website and show you what to do. So you have to be logged into Sierra, right? And if you go to your website, which would be, let's see, so I have to switch the tab, hold on a second. I want to make sure I can bring up your website. Alright.
Actually, is this me right here?
This is your account, yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to show you what you guys could do that's really easy. So you have to be logged into your account, right? And now you can see I'm on Preston's website. I'm on preston.njrealtypros.com. You guys all know how to get to your website?
No.
For Sierra?
No.
So yours is going to be gene.njrealtypros.com. No www. It'll screw up if you put www.heather. You only can have that. It's either www is our main site. Your site's your name, your first name. Now you can, and I'll help you with this, buy a domain name and forward it to make it easy, so you don't have to you're not used to, like, people don't really always remember, they're either used to www or nothing,
I
right?
put a dot, I put any of that
So
stuff.
if you want to buy like Carbone's Corner, which you have, which
Checking it now to make sure it works.
and I think we set that to forward. I can tell you how to do it. It's simple. You just forward it to in GoDaddy to whatever your URL is. So this is Preston's site. Anybody that goes to Preston's site, Preston's gonna get the lead. Nobody else in the office will get the lead, right? Same as if he makes landing pages on his site, which I'll show you what you do when you're. I gotta mouse over and find it.
Nice kitchen, Preston.
Where?
I like the tie.
Oh, you like that? Looks good.
Hey, it looks good on you.
The tie's real. I don't know about the kitchen.
There's a secret
We
button.
won't
I
tell
gotta
nobody.
find it. All right. So all you missed so far is that you have your own Sierra site. You can access it by going to. I think is your sam.njrealtypros or sachin.nj,
Yeah.
and then we can set up a URL to forward it.
Right.
We're going over Sierra, then we're gonna go over some GGMS.
Okay.
GGMS just launched version 8 like a week ago, so I don't even know all of it yet. But it's simple. You don't have to. I think people think that there's this big difficult, like you have to be a programmer to understand it. You don't. You just have to watch the videos. If you watch the videos, put it this way: if something can make you $100,000, and it costs you got to give your 2 hours a week to watch videos to do it, would you do it? I would, right? So you have to just be open-minded and watch the videos so you can learn how to do everything.
That only works if you wait for the audience to answer.
Sam gave me a nod.
Well, stop looking at me then.
Then you got people like me who can't log into something.
Don't be nervous, Preston.
I'm not.
No pressure.
Alright, it's alright if not.
Are you clicking I'm not a robot? Because that's what messes me
Yeah.
up all the time.
Keep me logged in.
Does anybody know their login and password to Sierra?
It's
Yeah.
saved on my phone.
Is it Preston?
You're in? Oh, it,
Is that at NJ Realty Pros? Is that right?
oh no, it's actually, it should be your first,
It's
either,
our own website.
is the login your first name or your first initial? Is it A
First
Carbone?
initial, last name is mine.
So it's gonna be first and then no at. And then put the password, then you should be.
You okay there, Sam? You wanna come here?
No, I'm good. Thanks. Just out in the car all day, so.
You look a little dizzy.
There we go. Alright, cool. Now that you're logged in,
You
I'll
gotta
show
show
this
this
You want
over.
chips or fruit?
Rabies.
In a bit.
Actually, pass that fruit bowl over here. Okay. I think I can eat that.
Where is it?
I gotta like cut everything out.
There's a hidden button here somewhere.
A hidden button.
And I'm not, it's not loading. You're supposed to be able on any page.
Think about what you're saying, Jay. I couldn't log into it, and now
Looks
there's hidden
familiar,
buttons.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You asking too much.
I can do it on mine, but I want to do it on an agent account.
That
not
chateau
mine.
that you were at, is that Middletown? You
Red
nev-
Bank.
You never answered me. Red Bank Zip,
Did you message me?
but like the north side of
It's a
Navasink.
co-op.
Maybe it's only for the brokers.
I was not sure.
Shouldn't be. Can you go to
Sure,
NJ
What
to their
Russell?
website?
Co-op.
I tried Carbone.
Don't
it's
ask.
not
It
working.
was
a
co-op.
I don't know
By the
what
hospital?
issue is, but
Is it
whatever.
by the
Alright, go to Antonetta
I didn't pull up the
NJRealtyPros.com.
I can tell you the address.
Is it
Very
Whippoorwill
And
Valley
just
Road?
mouse over in the
can't
white
tell you.
space to
Sure,
the
the
left
address, yeah, I
of.
don't know.
Ooh, you're going to
I just got
Whippoorwill.
one.
I didn't show it.
Remember that when we were
Alright, what
kids?
do you want me to do?
Mouse over
You know the
like
Whippoorwill
There is
mix?
no button, Jay. It's the same as what you've got.
it's not. Oh, it's not working for you. It works.
Isn't it
Do I
on
have
the
to
top
log
where you've
in?
got login and register
Yeah,
at the
log
top?
in.
Let me see.
Or where the American flag is, isn't it around there?
That's for users though.
No.
Should be
This is
great.
that's for users. Hold on, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I typed in my name and it's bringing me to the generic site.
I'll show you what it should look like. Maybe, it might be permissions. I might have to adjust permissions for it.
It's not with the last name, it's just my first name?
What do you mean? For your website
Sea salt blue.
should be Antonetta. Dot. I can tell you in a second. I'm just gonna.
Yep. Christina, was the road made of dirt?
Yeah,
That's Middletown.
I'll share that.
It's
Whippoorwill
listed as-
Valley
See,
Road.
it worked when
It's
I
a
logged
red
into
bank
mine,
zip, that's
so
why.
I just gotta see.
Maybe.
That's what it should be. If you mouse, I'm just showing you.
That whole area,
Where,
that's gotta be
Jay?
the most beautiful section of Middletown.
Top left.
See that?
But that's on your
looks like a-
website, right?
Right. So
Looks
I'm,
like a
I'm
link
gonna
for
make sure it's not a
I think that's on your website.
provisions thing.
So here, this is mine. Now
Yeah,
on my
again, there's
site.
nothing there.
How come
Are you logged into Sierra?
No.
You have to be logged into Sierra to do it. This so
At the same time as
Yeah.
a backend?
that you're on it.
Back in the day, we used to go down that street that's full of rich people.
It's 310
And we-
Cooper Road.
Cooper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cooper and
Zero.
Whippoorwill, they connect.
One second, Kristen.
That's the nicest area in Middletown. Like, by far. It's so
Yeah.
nice.
You know.
I thought it was very unique.
It is.
It's a shame that it's a co-op.
I worked logged in.
What are
as
the problems
me.
with co-ops? Isn't that like a condo with like triple association fees? Like,
They have to
It's
be
not the
approved
same
by the
thing.
board.
what
A
board?
co-op, you don't own anything.
You don't know
shares
anything.
You own shares in the
Corporation.
company.
In the co-op board.
Okay, and
In
you
the
just live,
cooperative.
you just live somewhere.
Correct.
Right, so it
You
doesn't
can-
matter where you live though.
And you gotta be
Could be-
approved by
And you
the
have to be
board
approved in.
to live there.
And you could do stuff to the place, you just need approvals usually.
Right. For
Okay,
anything.
so now I
But it's
am
not
logged
yours.
in.
It's not-
To your site, but the thing. Hello.
Sorry.
Here we go. Preston dot. So we're on Preston's website,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Now what do I
Say
do?
you want to go to what was the house that you shared today?
In Homedale.
In Homedale. That was a something Lapwood.
LAP?
Yeah, try that Lapwood.
Maybe
I'll,
not.
I'll tell you if you just give me a hot second. I'll tell you right now what it be. Ladwood. That's it.
Ladwood.
12 Ladwood.
Close, no?
That was. What are you thinking about?
I mean, it was close.
I know what you're thinking.
So
Keep it clean.
This house is nice, guys.
all you need to do now look, so now see as your name on there, the number is gonna be, is that your cell or is that
My
your
cell.
your cell? Well, because there's a Sierra number too if they call in, like once they get a lead. All the nice pictures, everything, you just copy the link. You can't see it, but the link at the top of the URL, and you use that link when you're on Facebook. If anybody goes to it, you're gonna get the lead.
Mhm.
But you have to be on Preston Dot. You can't just do it on NJ
Yeah, yeah.
Realty Pros.
Okay.
Then this way you guys can share any property you like. It's a good deal. Share it. Somebody fills it out. You're gonna get the lead. So that's the easy way. What I was gonna try to show you too is you can create. It'll go by the site details. So I think they'll be able to look at one or two properties before it prompts them for their info. Because like if you share it on Facebook, you don't want people to automatically have to give up their info to see the pictures,
Right.
right?
When I go to websites and it prompts me for my info right away, first thing I do is leave the website.
I'll go into our global settings to
So
make
annoying.
sure it'll at least let them see 2 or 3. For it's gonna be site wide.
Right,
I'll
right.
make sure that. But when I get this thing working, I was showing you before to create the links. And let me see. Yeah, it's not gonna come up right now. When I figure that out, you'll be able to make one. And like, say the site was set to prompt everybody to log in. That one link won't, like if you share it on your social, won't make anybody give up their info to log in.
The
Or it
one
will.
the one that you send from here.
No. So the one that you sent from here is going to go by whatever rules the site have set up.
Right.
When I get that little invisible link to work for everybody, you're going to be able to create a link and you'll be able to dictate the rules for that specific link.
Why would I use a different link than the one that's right there?
Because say our website is set up to prompt everybody to sign in to give their information.
Right.
You're sharing something on your Facebook, you want them to actually see the pictures. They use the link from there. They're going to have to sign up on your website in order to see the pictures. If our settings were set to that.
But they're not, right?
Right. Well, I'm going to make sure they're not for right now. But once you get the link, even if they were, you can override it.
Okay.
And you can make an instance of that link where
Where it's just shareable.
Or it's just shareable, yeah.
Okay.
And then if they wanna sign up for updates, they can, you know.
And it doesn't matter that we're sharing other people's listings on our own link.
No,
No,
no, agents
Because they
love
got
it.
MLS.
Yeah.
it's
IDF, right?
Yeah.
if you, so,
Yes,
yeah,
I get it.
yes and no. I mean, even if you're doing it on Zillow, you're sharing other people's listings, right?
True.
I have agents that call me up and thank me for sharing it like it's exposure.
Yeah. Some people get bent out of shape, and technically,
You're not
The-
supposed to.
the technical rule is you're supposed to have written permission to share somebody's listing.
Right.
But I mean, it gives all their, like, if you share something, it still gives the required info. Like,
But it also,
It doesn't, not from our site, it blocks all that info,
no,
doesn't
no, it doesn't.
no, it should say at the bottom.
It says it
There's-
somewhere.
There's no
It's-
way the payment's $2,100 a month.
But the thing is as long as you don't say, look at my new listing I've
It
just
doesn't,
got.
cause it's, the CRX or whatever, it doesn't show the listing agent on
It,
there.
it shows their office. You don't have to show the agent. It'll
Oh.
say listed by
Right.
whoever, whatever it is. They make sure we're
I
compliant.
think it's
on
all the way
that.
at the bottom, Jay.
Okay.
The social rules of sharing. This is a stupid thing. The MLS is there for us to be able to sell other people's listings. Our websites are allowed to sell other people's listings and it has every listing. Their social media rules with Monmouth are that you should have written permission from the person to share it on your social. Again, most people don't even care
You
or
shared
know.
my 5 dogwood, I need written permission.
Oh, actually, that's the caveat. Anything in the office, anything within the office, you're allowed to share
Who cares?
because it's all under Allen.
Just sell it, right? Just sell
But
it.
these are the rules. I mean, these are the.
We don't make up the rules.
You get paid, I get paid, everybody happy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, guys, utilize your own site
This is
for
my fourth.
when you're sharing stuff. Whether it's even your stuff is the same, your own listings. I really wanted to get into that one spot.
You want to come inside?
Yes, yeah.
No, I'm
No.
good, I'm lot of.
Why don't you put some stuff on your plate?
And Antonetta, you
Civil
definitely
person.
weren't able to get.
Well, I just looked at the settings on Sierra and that's what it says, but is
You've
that
been hating
where
on
it's
me
supposed
for
to
not
be?
having manners.
Well, that's
From the
that's your
jump.
profile page. That's not your
On
website.
Sierra.
What can I do?
Yeah, when I go to. do
I'll
that,
tell you what
it's
yours
not-
is.
It's not coming up.
Okay, so lesson 1, share listings from the site.
I tried to.
Yes.
From
Am I-
everyone.
Am I up to speed? Like use
Yes.
the site to share listings? Okay.
All right, so I'm going over Sierra, then GGMS, right? So, because if you guys have people that you want to send properties to, you're better off using Sierra than using the MLS.
Why is that?
Like if you want to set up auto searches, because you can get information on them. So like here, like I could see
You'll get them to log
if you
in.
set up the MLS, you can't see when they opened it. You can't see what they clicked on, how many times they clicked on. You just know that they're getting all 2 to 3 bedroom homes in Monmouth County when they come out, right? If you set up that same search in here,
It tells you how many times they clicked on it, what they saved, what they haven't saved.
Yeah.
I can see that with the leads. It's like visited this home
Yeah.
5 times. But then I call them and Muhammad doesn't answer anyway.
right? But
He's
and that's the other
Or
thing.
they said they were never on the site to begin
Well,
with.
internet leads, guys. Here's the thing, and this is what I think most people get in their head. They think, oh, I'm gonna like convert like 25% of these internet
You're
leads.
gonna
You know,
convert 1% of them.
if you're good, if you're on top of your game and you're making a ton of calls, you're gonna convert 2 to 4%. 95 of them are shit, but you need to get them. You need to look at it as a game. Somebody tells you, I'm good. Don't call me. Somebody tells you to screw off, whatever. You have to be like, all right, good. I'm one closer to selling my 2 to 4 out of this 100.
I gotta fuck off this morning, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Did you really?
100%.
Yeah, and you'll get those,
I get a
but
lot of those, but I met with one, so I'm happy.
that's the.
Did they come through the site and bite you or something? You know, did they slap
I'm
you in the face?
here.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not crying about it.
That's the thing when I used to
Need
cold
to tell
call.
the story.
People are gonna
Need
tell
to
you
tell
whatever.
the story.
It doesn't matter.
There
You-
were 2
Did
listings,
you get past your
I mean, they
name?
weren't from
get
internet or
past your
anything,
name?
but think
Oh,
about
no,
it,
those
Jay.
text messages.
Sophie and Crazy Gigawatt. I never in my
Just so-
life
just so
thought
you
I
got
would
it
have gotten these
accordingly.
listings. I mean,
Make
these
sure
were
you just
people
say
that I
stop.
physically
Stop,
saw,
'cause
but
it's
when
automated
you
system, right?
The one was, I mean,
Couple
Sophie
does
was a
not
random
make
letter we
sense.
sent to her
That's
house.
just-
Right, but what I'm saying is the ones you really, I really look back and I'm like, how did
That's
I
not what
even
we
like get this
recognize.
listing and like get this guy, cause he was impossible, and so was the lady.
Yeah.
So it's just like with the phone calls, you get
Yeah.
impossible
This is
people.
You gotta be persistent.
Yeah.
It's gonna take an average of 10 times trying to call, plus all the texts and emails that the system sent, to get an internet lead on the phone. That's what it is. If you're not up for it, then don't do internet leads, but you're not gonna, it's not like, cause you can have two people and one person say, oh, these are the best leads in the world. These leads suck. It's more the mind frame.
Right, the best leads
Then-
though still close at 1.5%.
Exactly.
Like
It's, there's no,
calling is a tough game.
yeah. And these leads, like, so you guys know, they're pay-per-click leads, which means they're better than Facebook leads. They're not quite Zillow leads. Zillow leads are $100 a piece. You can't buy that many Zillow
100.
leads
Try 5 in some areas, $500-600 per lead.
for a lead.
And they share that with everybody else in that marketplace.
It was
so good luck.
1,500
They
for
added
me
it
to
in
buy
their
a zip
mind.
code.
1,500,
That's nothing.
peanuts to an elephant, okay? And
Yeah.
an elephant, $3,000 in to be in top 3. $3,000 in.
Oh, I didn't
Per
know
month.
if there was
Per
top
month.
1 or top
Oh
2.
no, yeah, you're just
It's-
getting a fraction for
You're getting-
1,500.
yeah.
You're not getting all for the zip code.
Oh.
You get like you get
You
like.
signed up, didn't you?
What a scam that is. No.
Here's the thing:
I'm gonna
those are
rush
looked at the
I don't
best
wanna work
leads
with
because there's somebody saying, "Give me information about this specific house."
You know my deal.
Whereas pay-per-click leads, people are saying, "Hey Google, show me houses in Manalapan." So they're showing an interest, but they're not asking to talk to you. Whereas Zillow, they're asking to talk to somebody. That's why they're so expensive. Facebook, people just see a pretty kitchen and click on it. They give you their info and they're not even looking. So they're a long game, but they're much cheaper. Like so that's the 3 tiers of leads, and ours are those middle tier. They've searched for something. Like you can actually probably see.
And ours are Google, right?
What was that?
Ours are Google pay-per-click leads.
Yeah.
They're both Facebook and
Oh.
Google.
Well, they're Google and then Facebook retargets. So if somebody goes to the site, they'll get separate, like those videos, to try to engage them. So if somebody signed up for the site, they're in our queue, right? They're gonna get served ads like whatever those videos are. You've seen our videos because you like them. There's like 24 videos like saying how to buy a home or whatever.
Yeah,
Price
how to get
reduction,
pre-approved
stuff
or
like that.
whatever. Yeah.
So what they do is there's a pixel on the website. If they're logged into Facebook when they go to the website, it acknowledges they went to the website and then an ad targets them. If they signed up, they get one set of ads. If they didn't sign up, they get another set of ads to try to get them to sign up on our website. That all goes on in the back. That's how the Facebook ads work. So our Facebook ads are better than the Facebook ads I just told you about, which are just the random ones you can get for like 25 cents. So yeah. The other important thing to do, so if you guys want to put your own leads in, you just go add a lead, fill out the form. Simple. Do you want to notify them? Yes or no. They'll get added to the system. Don't put them as new, which is by default, or they're going to get messages from the system. Like if this is like your boy from high school or your girl from high school, prime. They have to be prime if you know them personally.
Okay.
You said it as Prime?
Prime.
Yeah, Prime.
So
Prime is the
now,
status.
how do you put in the rest of the details about the deal? Let's say it's somebody that you've sold before and you want the system just to kind of keep up with them on like the anniversary and whatever. Like, is there a place to put all that information? So
Yeah. So we'll just bring up.
And would that, like, if you sold at 123 Main Street and it's in a development,
Is it
could
cool
you
if I
send
bring
them-
up this guy Antonetta? I don't know. He's one of your people.
Vasil Serenovicon?
He might have been a.
I never talked to him.
Yeah, he probably never responded, but he's active on the website. He responded to a text. He's from AdWords, and this stuff is like what zip code he was searching for on Google when he converted. So you have some information. You have, the buyer, like the agent info. You can assign a lender to them.
But Jay, 1 second. I think what Preston was saying is like a past client, he must have sold a house too.
Home anniversary, birthday,
Done.
current address.
Click the pencil and add it. No
Yep.
worries.
Yeah, but can you also set them up where they're getting alerts for the house that they bought in that development? Like, so you set
Yes,
up a search.
that's the next important thing to go over. First is for the buyer leads, then I'll go over market updates, which is for the seller leads.
Yeah.
So
Where would you see the respond to the text? Because I've never seen a respond to
Neither
text
have
like
I.
Bubble.
this is everything right
You just have
here,
to go through all the emails
but you
now
could
and
just
have-
go to text right here. He said just browsing.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Damn,
Oh.
21? Jesus.
what was that?
That's from 2021.
But he's still on the website because he was showing up that high in the list, means he was there
Maybe
like
he's
today.
better now?
And can you text them right?
Yeah, you
From
can text them
this
right
window?
now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cause then it'll go from this number. and
Email.
then
Right at the
personal
top.
number.
Text,
So you just hit text and then it.
log call. Now it's important if you're, because the GGMS, even if you're calling them from your cell phone, you gotta log the call or else it won't build the right follow-up lists. So every time you try to call somebody, you say, I talked to them, I left a message, I didn't reach them, whatever.
Right.
But if you log it, it'll keep them out of your call filters if you actually use the system when you learn GGMS.
So when you how do you do that? You click note and add a note that you've called.
Right
no,
here,
there's
log
different
call.
tabs on the top.
So here's where I
Oh,
can
so you
email
don't
him.
manually put a note in.
I can email him directly.
You
Well,
can
I can make any note right here,
Mm-hmm.
any note on the system.
But if you go to log call, when I make calls, because I usually always hit the
You-
log call, I always put notes in it because
And
then I
it'll-
remember what I'm talking
And
about.
it'll save it as a note and it'll log the call.
Oh, but it won't do it from the notepad.
No,
Got it.
no,
You can't log the call from the notepad.
Right.
You can take notes on the call, but you can also take notes on the call here.
Because
you
then
know.
you're doing two things at once. You're logging
Right.
it and you're making notes.
Got it.
And then on the bottom, you can click one of the things to like remind you if you scroll down, like when you want to email them again, or like if you hit add task and it'll prompt you for like a date or something,
No.
and it'll come up in your like to-do list basically.
Yes. So now that's if you're if you're following the GGMS system, you don't have to worry about that stuff because GGMS is gonna, unless you're to the point of like you're going out with them and you want to take notes. But if you're at the point of just trying to reach them, you don't even have to use that stuff. But you can if you want to do extra contacts on top are not going to hurt from what GGMS already tells you to do.
Right.
So, site message, same thing, but they're not responding to you. When they log in, you can have a custom thing like, hey, a-hole, I tried to call you 20 times. You know,
You
this is the
must have
last
been
time
a
you
little
logged
busy.
in before I blow up your
Fuck
account.
off from Anna.
Oh, that's what site message means. That's your own.
Oh, we got
message.
that on video too.
Yes.
I told you to fuck off. Oh, but
Site
I
message
fuck
is
off
my
too.
own message.
You as well.
Your own message, but it looks
Ditto.
like when you log into the MLS and they have a notice, like, hey, you know, there's a you may have to edit the last minute, but hey, there's a
8:45 in the
What's your
morning.
message say? Let me see.
Oh, it was a voicemail, text, and an email, and I just got a
Stop.
so yeah, so you can just have it say anything like you saw they clicked
I'm
on
not mad about it.
a property 5 times. You can
I
mention
do
that
like
property
chocolate.
when they
It
log
just
in.
needs we
If
had
they're
a
not
little laugh
responding to
about
your
it.
text or
I'm
email.
watching you.
Yeah. Well, no, but you can say our featured property of the week. They don't know how you
Yeah.
are doing
No, don't
things.
say I'm watching you, because that's
No,
a
I was
little.
kidding. I was
And,
kidding.
I know where you are.
I was
GG.
kidding.
It's like Whippoorwill Road type stuff right
GGMS
there.
still
I'm
haven't
watching
come
you.
out with
I was kidding.
an app where you
Do
can
you
do
want
all
to
this
use
from
that?
your phone, right?
Do you want
You can do limited stuff from your phone.
Right, no, but
Wait,
not
there's
an app,
difference.
right?
No, no.
How's
So,
GGMS?
so here's the thing. GGMS,
I bought it
You want
at
slice?
Luigi's.
That's-
I had to do the-
Sierra hasn't come out with
I
an
don't
app
care
yet.
then.
But they're working on it.
Because I
GGMS,
just want to think about it.
GGMS wouldn't have an app
Do me a favor?
because GGMS is the follow-up plan built on Sierra's system.
Yeah, yeah.
So GGMS, they're just helping us convert more. We pay them because they have good campaigns and stuff like that.
Because
Yeah.
I got a demo for New Level,
you did good.
and New Level is the same thing, like a CRM. The leads get put into there, but then you have a New Level app, and then the app lets you text, call, everything from the phone. So
No,
you
you-
don't always
You could do that. You could text and call and email them.
from the phone
Right.
website.
I thought you were asking in the past. You asked me if there's an app where they can search homes on the app.
No. That's not something
No,
else.
There's so it's a mobile version.
Which
so
they
it's
should do
limited.
that as well.
So
Who?
everybody,
Right.
everybody should have the Sierra Interactive app.
Oh, so there is an app.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on here.
Oh, I didn't know
All
that.
your leads are in here.
So take out
Oh,
the
I
phone,
didn't
guys,
know
and
that.
download that app.
How come I don't have that? I've been doing it from my phone.
And then I can call, if I hit call, it will
Yeah.
mask the number as the
You just
GGMS,
changed
as the
lives today.
So
The
Sierra number.
phone,
yeah.
the Sierra
See that?
dialer.
Most of us didn't know about this.
Good question,
I
Sam.
don't have it on my phone either, Jay. So I
What was
can
that?
add it on my phone,
Yeah, you can add it on your phone.
add it on my phone, and then,
Again, this is more so if somebody like messages you while you're on the road and you want to get it back to them quickly. It's very hard to work it off your phone. I would strongly suggest not using this as the main point of contact.
Yeah, but it's just good to if you got your phone and you don't have your computer, it's just
Yeah, if a text comes in, you just go right in. I get
What
text
is
this
the app
person.
called? Sierra
Sierra Interactive.
Interactive.
Okay, done. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't even know it existed.
Ta-da!
you can see their profile, exactly everything like we said, their home anniversary, all that stuff. You can see tasks and activities. You can even see what they're looking at on the website. So you can see almost everything in
that's
here.
good.
Thank you.
The searches that are set up for them,
So they did
and
do that.
transactions if you did any transactions with them. Other thing I want to show you too is this linked leads. So if you have a couple that you're helping, you set one up as the primary. I'm going to show you in a second how to set up the search. But when you link the leads, it'll say CC them on property updates. So you don't have to reset up the search twice. Set it up on one person, create the other account, and then just hit link leads, and it'll ask you if you want to CC them. So then this way they both get the property updates because you can't put two emails in here
The same email.
because they're two different people. So you're gonna make a different profile for each one. All right, searches. By default, this is how the system works when I get to GGMS. I'm going to talk a little bit about GGMS right now, but this is more so for if you want to set up alerts for anybody you know their criteria, prime leads. When an internet lead comes in, or an open house lead, if you set it up this way, they get a general Middlesex County search. I think because all our leads that we're buying are Middlesex County. So they're going to get like Middlesex County like 200 to 900. It's on purpose. We haven't talked to them yet. We don't know what they're looking. They might have just clicked on $1 million home, but that's not in their range. So all the communication, like I said before, with GGMS, is going to be getting the prices in the towns, right? That's why this is generic, because it'll say, hey, you're on our website right now. We have a generic search set up for you. Let's get that a little bit more tailored. What towns and price are you looking? All this you'll have to understand all this when you do GGMS, because that's the messages going out to these people, right? So you guys are right over there?
So, if we're getting leads, they're only coming from Middlesex, but anybody can look anywhere on our website for whatever, right?
Yeah, all the MLSs are on our website.
So the only leads we get is Middlesex, right?
I thought it was Middlesex and Monmouth.
I was
I
able
thought it
to
was
Not
everything.
Monmouth.
I was able to set up searches from all the different MLSs.
I
when
thought it's from
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
MLSs that we belong to.
So that's what you have to understand next
That
when you
we are
set somebody
getting
up.
leads from is
Yeah.
just Middlesex. I've never gotten leads from Monmouth.
We're buying
County.
all the leads that we're buying are coming in from Middlesex County zip codes.
Okay, that's
Right.
what we've done.
We have to our plan has to specify like one
Right.
MLS.
But if we choose to put in a safe search for, let's say you're a client I'm working with right now, set them up as prime, right? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna be able to, like, let's say if you're looking in
You guys can go out and take a break if you want.
Northern Jersey, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I have Garden State MLS connected to this, I can do the search for you in Garden State MLS, right?
Yes,
Because
exactly.
the office belongs to the MLS, right?
Yeah. So
Excuse the interruption.
okay. All right. So yeah. So you want? So everybody's on the general when it's an internet lead. If you're putting somebody in yourself, you just set them up on a search, right? And that's what I want to tell you guys. So when you do the create an alert, pretend that they don't have a search set up. Say you're just putting in your buddy, right? Creating an alert.
This is for a lead that exists.
This is for somebody that you're working with.
So I'm working with them. They're in the system.
Yeah, either you added them or you got them on the phone and now you know what they want to do, right? Like, say they were on a agenda. Say you got somebody, because we're going to do more GGMS later, but say you got Kazi on the phone. Kazi's like, Preston or Antonetta, because it's Antonetta's lead, I want to buy in Homedale 5 to 700,000. Right now he's on the general, right? So you're gonna delete the general and create. You're gonna update his.
Can I update that one?
Yeah, can you just edit the one
I
that's there?
usually edit those.
Update. Well,
The
yeah,
little pencil?
it's just easier to start from scratch, though. I mean,
That's what, I added some of them for the other guy, Chuck, but for him, yeah, I see.
yeah, but I mean, I would delete it because it's just so it's 200. You're gonna have to change everything anyway. And then what if you found out? You said, okay, Antonetta, I want to buy in East Brunswick. He's set up on, all right, well, it's not Middlesex. Say Homedale, Monmouth. You don't want to edit that search because that search is hooked up to Middlesex.
Okay, but some people put homes on there.
Right, but here's the thing.
I see what he's saying. The system
Here's the
is
thing.
going to send them out stuff.
If they're getting
So
everything
you want those searches to be separate.
you need each primary, like when they're looking at different areas, you need a search with that primary set up.
Okay.
Reason being, if I'm set for, so say you had somebody and you used Middlesex to set it up, yeah, they'll get the 3 homes out of 40 that are listed in Middlesex, but they won't get the other 37.
Oh no, I set up both of them.
Oh, I mean, you could set up a second one if you
Yeah.
want, but again, it'll just be another email. But, so you would delete this, and then you would create a new one, CJMLS or whatever MLS you want to use. So, if you guys are all familiar, GS is Garden State, MO is Monmouth Ocean, NJ is Bergen County, and CJ is Middlesex County.
And keep in mind, those Garden State is not just, or I should say CJMLS is not just limited to Central Jersey.
What's the real big one,
It's,
Bright?
they go out, they all
Bright,
overlap
Bright
each other.
is big, but it's not
That's why
really
I
our
did both,
area.
because some
We could
reasons-
probably get it hooked up.
I'm rooting for Monmouth Ocean. That's where I'm at. So.
Me too.
Yeah, most viewers, yeah. So I'm going to show you guys something in Monmouth Ocean because I think it's important for setting these up.
Jake, can we try and get Bright on here as well, please? Because I started going more into that area.
Yeah, I mean, we have to call. When we tried to add it, they had just switched from
We said
Trend.
no.
And they weren't set up yet, but I'm sure they are by now. So you would create a name for the search, send new listing alerts, and you could say daily, twice per week, monthly. I have most people set up as ASAP right now. Again, if they have really broad search, you would never want to do that on the general search because they'll get 40 emails in a day, right? But if you have their requirements, you get them in 2 or
As they
3,
come up.
whatever, as they come up. Because these guys are all on Zillow. They're on all those sites, and Zillow will email you within minutes. So you want to make sure you're hitting them too.
That's one thing Zillow never fails to do.
Is email them?
They will, as soon as the listing pops within their criteria, absolutely.
Yeah, my clients are sending me stuff, and it's always like listed 3 hours on Zillow. So
Clients love sending me stuff from Zillow.
And Redfin.
So email, there's either a default or custom. I usually will personalize it. I'll be like homes from the Garrett team or homes for Joe from the Garrett team or
And I put in a phone number and subject line.
yeah.
So they don't have to look for it. The name, so it resonates, right? They remember who's your agent. Oh, I don't know. It's the name and the phone number.
Yeah, I
It's
would
a
like
repetition.
create some sort of naming convention like that and just stick with it. Whatever works best for you. But those are all good things to have in your subject. You want to put coming soon. I don't normally do pending or sold in the status updates.
But that
No,
you could
that-
use
that could
for
be good
like,
for
say I wanna
already-
use it for like my investor guy that wanted 89 Prestwick. If I want him to see what's going on over there or something.
Well, that's a
like
separate. That's going to be the market update email. I'm going to show that
Oh,
next.
okay.
So it's almost the same,
Okay,
just a little different. But they actually have a cool report. That's why.
yeah.
You wanna
this
do
is
it.
Important.
Now, what I do, because Monmouth is weird because they have municipalities, they have cities,
City.
you have stuff that's like freehold with a mailing Howell email address. Don't ask me why it works, but the way that it works is use municipality.
usually do when I.
And that's
when
what
I
you
set
wanna
them
do.
up On Monmouth Ocean.
If you do city, you might miss some stuff. And the only other thing that I would say, because I
you
always
could do zip as well, right? If you know a specific zip.
Zip gets weird, like in Keyport, for example, 07735 is Union Beach's zip,
Cliffwood
Keyport
Beach.
zip, Cliffwood Beach,
Right.
but then Cliffwood Beach also crosses into Old Bridge, which
Yeah.
is Middlesex with a Monmouth.
And they pay
Zip.
Old Bridge taxes.
Like, so depending on where you're looking, that does, you know, it could show you things out of where that client wants to be.
right. So when you automatically select municipality, it's going to add a city. And again, I delete the city. I don't know why it just pulls it for some reason. I keep it to municipalities. It works for me that way. For Monmouth, Middlesex, I use cities because Middlesex only has cities. They don't have municipalities.
Right. Yeah.
So those are the two ways that I do Monmouth and Middlesex. That's gonna be 90% of your searches. But just go like that. And then the other thing is, try to only do price, beds, baths, like maybe basement or garage or whatever. No square footage, no year built. I don't even do that in the MLS, guys.
Because this stuff's not accurate.
It's not accurate.
They
It's
don't
not.
include it all the time.
If it's not a required field, exactly, it's not going to be included in the search. So it's like, I only want 2,000 square foot homes. Well, I'll say, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set you up for all homes. Let me know if you like something that doesn't have the square footage. And because if they don't put it in, you won't get it. But if you just tell me what you like, if it doesn't have it, I can check the tax records and it might have it. You know?
I think they should make that a mandatory field, or it should populate from the tax
Square
record, 'cause-
footage?
yeah,
People
But
will
it's
be
not
like
always
measuring
accurate,
closets
it's
and
all over the
stuff.
place.
yeah, I think it should automatically link from the tax
Well,
record, because
oh.
otherwise then we have to look at every single one.
Yeah, and then
But
like,
sometimes you walk in and it says one thing and in reality it's much bigger. Like that's what we, you know, you have to keep an open mind, especially for flips, right? Because we look at the square footage, we look at the footprint, but we come in, it's like there's an extension done, it's nowhere to be registered and so forth, so it's not always accurate either.
That's like the thing we have with Patricia and with Edison.
yeah, it was.
The square footage is different than what's actually there.
Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, if something was done without a permit or just the town never updated it.
Correct.
I never use any of these exterior features. Again, they're
gonna
not
say
required.
permits.
No.
You could do waterfrontal work. Waterfront's one that if somebody's only looking for waterfronts, that's generally pretty accurate. I think it's a required field in Monmouth Ocean. And then adult community is like hidden in here. Yes or no. If you don't, if you don't do anything, they're gonna get adult communities too. So remember, if they're not looking at adult community, to select it down in this list. Same with basement, yes or no. That's gonna be an accurate one, and that's a required field. And like yeah, I would never use this master bedroom on the first floor. Nobody even puts the rooms on the floor, right? So like if you select that, they're gonna never get a house, you know. And yeah, so you just hit save search when you're done, and then they'll start getting it on whatever frequency you.
It'll
you got.
automatically send them emails on what shows up.
Yes, because here's what happens. So, an internet lead comes in. They're not responsive to you and your text, but if they start clicking, the main traffic driver to the website, especially for the internet leads or like open house leads, they'll always click for new properties. So you might get them on that, but then you get more info from that. They clicked on this one 3 times. There's your follow up. You know, so you could see, and then you just go to properties here. And then this guy, you know, what he's looked at and all different, you know, stuff over here. How many times?
Terrible looking house.
Searches. This is where you can see what's set to go out to them. Again, when we get to the GGMS stuff, I'll go over this. The other thing I wanted to show you was just like I said, create an e-alert. That's for buyers. For people that own a home, and I'm setting this up in the process of doing this.
What does an e-alert? That's when a listing comes on the market.
They get the listing.
Got it.
This creates a little market report for people. So all your past clients should have one set up. Anybody in your sphere that owns a home should have one set up. And they'll get, again, same thing. You set it up kind of like this. So like, you know, you figure out which MLS. include, I usually do past 6 months because that's the relevant stuff. I send it once per month, but you could do the most, once per week is the most frequent you can send it. And you set it up the same exact way. Now here, I would either do, depending on the development, because you could do a subdivision. So they live in a development. Monmouth is usually pretty good about subdivisions, but not always. So you can either do the whole city for them, like, oh, here's your Manalapan update or Englishtown update or
Right.
Keyport. Or if they're in a development and you really want to be sure, you can actually do a map and like just draw where their development is
Mhm.
to make sure that even if the agent doesn't put the development name in, that they get it.
I was to say, most agents, because they're pulling the data from the MLS, so if they don't put the subdivision, like a lot of them just leave it blank,
It won't-
it's not gonna come up.
Exactly. So certain areas, like I feel like, I don't know, I know down by Main Times River they don't use it as much. They use it for the condos and townhouses, but they single family subdivisions, they have a name, people know them, they refer to it by it, and they don't list it.
Right.
But if you go in on a map and you make a circle because you know where the boundaries of that development are,
So that's,
You set that
that's
everything
doing a
up.
search by the street names then, I guess.
well, no, it's just map coordinates.
No, but like, you know how Brick has like Herbertsville and like
Right.
all those things. Because some of those towns, those subdivisions are bigger than a development. Like it's a whole part of the town.
Yeah, you could even do that. Like say you were in
Like with Colesink, we have Scobeyville out by me. That's like 30% of the whole town.
yeah.
Leisure
So,
Village.
so here's like Brick. So you would just say, I mean, I don't know the exact. Say this was Herbertsville, you would just go, well, that's Chambers Bridge. Herbertsville's up here. But
Yeah, see?
see
And
like over
it
here.
looks like it's a separate town, but it's not. Like that.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's an
It's,
area.
it's kinda like Tenant is for
Manalapan.
So I would just go like
Or
this,
Marlboro.
get as detailed as I want, and say send them closings within that
area.
within that area. So once it's set up in there, they're set. They get it. People check these and they like them, and they do cool stuff. So like, let me show you. Well, I don't have one. I should have just saved one, but you could use these on both e-alerts and market updates. One, to see the results of. Oh, I have to change the thing.
The tab.
So, if you want to see the results right away, like say you're doing your calls, you can just bring up the results of their search as they would see it.
How do you do that?
You just, right where that button that I just hit. Hold on, let's see. I'll go back to it. So far, is this like good stuff that I'm covering today? Are you
Yeah.
guys- all right,
It
cool.
is.
Can I just wanna piggyback
The
on some,
absorption rate's not super high, but it's good stuff.
Well, yeah, the more you do it, the more you'll remember.
Right,
it, you
right.
know?
I just wanna add one thing, somebody was talking about like, I guess the houses and the square footage and stuff like that. I don't know, cause I was in the men's room.
You heard us from the men's room?
Walls
No,
of
no,
Fame.
when I came back
I
in.
was gonna
The,
say.
We heard
The
it.
CJMLS
supersonic.
is adding what's called Kubakase. It's going to be an app on your phone, so when you take a listing, all you have to do,
Kubakase.
yeah,
What the hell is that?
it's going to be an app, and what you're doing is, you know how you take pictures on your cell phone? Okay, it's going to be on your cell phone, and what it's going to do is, like Matterport, remember you used to have the drawings on 8x10 or 10x12, the room sizes? It's going to do that for you.
It's a little thing,
Oh, it'll ma-
handheld, right?
But-
No, it's going to be on your cell
the
phone.
phone.
It's
But
fine.
the MLS is not going to require it still, right?
No, they're not gonna require it, but what it's gonna do is if a lot of people like the floor plan layout, it'll do that, it'll put it all together for you, and there's no fee for it. They don't charge you
That's
for it.
nice.
Nice.
What's that
So-
app called?
Do we still have
Kubakasa.
Matterport?
I keep thinking of that place that we had the party at the
Do we still have
convention.
Kuba Libre.
Yeah.
Cuba Libre,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what it's gonna be called, yeah,
For measurements.
Do we still have Matterport?
yeah, it's gonna be,
Was it?
you know, like if you were in this office
Yeah, we
and
still
say,
have it.
okay, I take a picture of this room, take a picture of that, and it'll put it all together for you.
I like that.
So,
And it's no extra charge, there's
Oh,
gonna be
view
no
search
fee for it
results.
on
Okay.
the
Oh,
CJNLS.
so hitting that brings you directly to the
Another-
website.
it'll open a new tab with their search results. So if you wanted for
Okay,
any
I gotta
reason, see, or what I'll do sometimes is, like, if I'm tweaking a search, I might want to make sure that it's pulling everything up from the MLS. So I'll look and then I'll try to figure out how I can tweak the search if it's not. Like, I mean, the only caveat that I sometimes with the beds and baths, it goes by total baths. So like if somebody wants
1.5 baths.
1.5, that'll still count as 2 baths on the on the website. I don't think there's a way to fix it. I got to see if I can email them. But most people, I'll just explain, hey, the way the website does it's by total baths, and then we're good.
Cause that's just
When
like,
did
that's
we-
just how it works on the MLS.
When did the industry start calling it a half bath and stop calling it a powder room?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because a half bath doesn't have a bath in it of any kind. Like, that's a weird name for it.
Well, yeah, you're right.
You know, all kidding aside, it might have to do with quote unquote. You're not allowed to use the word master bedroom anymore, or a walk-in closet.
No, but that's new. That's like,
No, because words, right? Not everyone
If you're
can walk into a
disabled, not
closet,
everybody
right?
can walk.
Right, and then
It's
you can't
it's
say
not
you're
rules
required.
by the MLS or anything. These are rules set by the federal government.
So a male may say that I don't use powder. Why?
You want to just like
Because what is close?
send new listings since the last one sent, but you can say new listings.
what do you mean
best-
send one? A market update?
A market update. So it'll
I
say.
know. That's
Say you want to, you got them on the phone and say, you know what?
You
Let me
can-
resend you everything that matches. You do
Well, you can't say
Gotta
one
wait
shot
for it
because
to go
you
on
don't
that
know if
week.
they can walk.
new listings since last sent. That there's also the last 7 days, last 2 days. So you could just send them a summary or whatever, just if you wanted to override in addition to what they're
Because a
getting.
master bedroom insinuates
You follow what I'm saying?
slavery.
Yeah. So
That's what they.
that's that.
Like, if something new comes up, let's say before the
Yeah,
email goes
That's
out.
why.
Well, yeah, if you had it to ASAP, they would get it. But if you want to just like say we were going out and you say, you know what, let me just resend you everything that came out in the last 7 days, so you can
It's
tell
just
me
like
if
they've changed.
you want to add any properties. You can just easily do that. See me listing the past 7 days.
Yeah.
This is a suggest listings. It's a different feature.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go over it right now. GGMS does
Right.
teach you how to do this, and they do use this.
Yeah.
I just don't know if we're gonna get
You
to
might
it.
get just few,
We're on
but,
version 1.
You know,
We're on
people-
level 1
There,
today.
there could
It's been
be
that way for so
multiple
long.
levels, you know.
just gotta get over
Yeah,
it.
I mean, the main thing is understanding this and like
It's like, come on.
get all the people you know that have an address in the market update. What agents are sending them their value every month, and it's the most their house has ever been worth. So you may get people from that, you know, people you didn't sell the house to, or that you did. I mean, I've been sending out manual ones too, because just so it looks like we're doing like physical work on it. And I got my first listing coming up, it's a listing and a sale. And they said it was because I sent that. They said, "Wow, I didn't know that. Glad you sent this. I want to move." So that's 20 grand from sending, you know, just an easy 1-page report. What we're doing is as we send people out the physical report, we're going in and setting up that market update to go out monthly for them. So they'll get a physical one every year and then one every month.
That's for your past clients, right?
Yeah, for past clients. And Sphere. So suggested listings just show up here. So those are two of the main things right there that I wanted to go over. How we doing so far? How are you guys following everything? I'm explaining everything good.
It's okay. It's a little choppy, but like it's there. It's okay.
Yeah, like those two main things, and like I said, the main thing is to know to do municipality for Monmouth Ocean searches
I see it.
For the e-alert.
for the alerts
Yeah.
and the market updates. Unless you're doing a map for the subdivision, and then
Guess I'm just waiting for the part where GGMS comes into this. I thought that was just like the place that we watch like the videos on. Like I've never used that with Sierra.
right. So GGMS.
Yeah, I did that.
Let me play. I'm gonna play a video.
I don't even think I
And
know
what-
how to log into it.
It's just the best way for me to explain this stuff because there's an explainer video, and we can pause it along the way. And anytime if anybody wants me to pause it, let me know. And there's a few spots I was gonna pause it already, but they explain it better than I can. But it goes over the overview of the system, and then like I said, is everybody a member of the Facebook group for GGMS?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
I think I
No. All right,
Why don't you check?
I'm in the Facebook group for sure. I see the guy with the black hair. He comes on and he's talking about something.
Mike and Josh and the wall guy.
What is the group called?
GGMS
It's
private.
got like a little horn. He's yelling into it.
No, no, I
GGMS
don't
private
follow it.
mastermind. Let me add everybody that's
Did you
here.
It's a learn or like.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not like an invite.
No, I'm gonna invite you, but that's their company Facebook page. It's GGMS Private Mastermind. I'm gonna invite you, and they're gonna probably have to.
Very complex. Did you guys hear
It's
that
this one,
CNN apologized to the school shooter for misgendering them?
What was that?
It's this one.
A transgender, yeah.
Every day,
And I
guys.
just
These
invited
guys
you.
go
It was
live
Heather, I just invited
for an
you.
hour,
Okay.
and they cover different topics. How to use the suggested
matter
thing,
is
how to
that
best do the
person's dead,
searches,
And he killed six
how to do the
she
stuff,
killed
and none of it's
six other
complicated. You
people.
just have to understand the mind frame behind it, and it's worth it because, like I said, you invest a little time, you get comfortable with it. People are saying this version 8. I see people posting like users that their business is taking off because they're using it. Like they said, it's getting them actual conversions. So I'm just making sure everybody. I'm adding you guys.
It's
Alright,
like
Gina,
everything
you're in
else
there.
though. If you don't
No,
block
I
the
was
time
already
out to
there,
use
Jay.
it,
I was already there.
Yeah, you just got
you gotta block some time out to use it.
so. But in order to kind of understand the main overview, let me and of course I went off the page I had it all set to go, and then I did the invite. So let me just get to the video. Is this it?
That's the current version, version 8.
Current it just came out like a week ago. I think that was all right. So that was it. I think. Let's get this shared.
Is that water like for everybody?
There's a cup right there.
Before Preston takes the bottle.
Right, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
more cups.
suggesting, because he has this habit of things. I know you so well.
I know.
Chris, if you really want, I think we have vodka for that orange juice and lemonade.
No.
Oh,
Actually,
what the
not
hell
a good
happened?
idea.
I
He
just,
doesn't drink.
Not
does he?
entirely a bad idea, I'm just saying.
Yes.
It's a little early.
It's 5 o'clock. So
It sounds like a good idea, but like alcohol lowers your testosterone. I'm trying to be more manly these days.
is there a remote?
This
This one? I'm not sure. Probably both.
The black one's for the volume, I think.
Wonderful.
Your website that make this whole thing work. Like we can, at the end of the day, that's what we're installing inside of there. Big picture. That's the plug and play system, the plug and play functionality. Now, main benefits. This is like the reason why you're here, the reason why you're using this, the reason why you it avoids the headache. You could go build all of these things out yourself. You could figure out how to connect all of the dots, or you could just trust people like us who know what we're doing, who have been doing it for years, and know how to make it all work and all tie together. That is going to save you time. That's going to help you avoid the headache. It's also going to simplify your day. It's a simple workflow that's going to allow you to make sure that you're taking care of your CRM day in and day out without having to watch over it like a hawk, or just let it kind of turn into this giant, rubber band ball where everything's everywhere, right? It really helps you keep that CRM tidied up. Josh, you want to go over the last two items there?
Yeah, so what we provide here is a massive system, a library of content that we're using to basically bait your database into exposing some curiosity and some reaction. And then we're monitoring for that at all times, scanning the database. So what we're talking about here, and what Mike was just alluding to with the saving of your time, is really like the stop chasing the leads around and start focusing on the ones that are focusing on you. So to do that, we provide these video-focused landing pages, SEO-focused advertising to get in front of and keep people out online wherever they go. The people that are reacting to your content, the people that are visiting your website, that are engaging with your business. So we have these different tools. We're going to explain the way that these things work here, but basically what you need to know is that we've created all of the tools that you need to allow you to just focus your time, energy, and effort on those that are actually focusing their time, energy, and effort on you. And then in that, we provide instant accountability. So as our system identifies the leads that need a task, we assign a task or a series of tasks to the agents. And it's really been simplified down to making phone calls at the basic level. And the cool part about these tasks is you can use those tasks to keep yourself and keep your agents accountable to what your system is producing. All of the dollars that you spend on all the different tools and Sierra and GGMS and ad spend and all that stuff leads back to these couple of tools that we're going to show you about here in just a minute.
Exactly. So V8 highlights. What are the big things? You know, what happened?
So real quick, so basically the system focuses on automation to make your life easier and to really have you focus on what makes sense. So
And they're talking about Sierra. So Sierra itself got an update. That's what this means.
no. They updated they utilize Sierra, right? So in addition to just giving us the content for the emails and the texts, they create the system that triggers that, you know, based on what the people are doing in Sierra, they have triggers that are alert.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, we don't have to do anything that's
No.
GGMS. This is what happens behind the scenes.
Exactly,
Okay.
and then they're gonna go into the statuses. I mean, I just want you guys to understand the overview of it. But basically, you know, in the beginning, when you don't have a relationship, like 90% of communication is done. You just have to make your phone calls.
Right.
And there is hopefully we'll get to it by the end of today, depending on how long we go. But there's a daily set of tasks that all you have to do is log in and do the same thing every day, and you're good. But this should be where you work your entire business out of. Whether they're internet leads or not, you should be putting them in here, getting them on searches, marking them pending, marking them, you know, seeing who's looking at houses. You know, like, people are gonna then get fed if all your sphere has an account and they're on the site, you're gonna know if they set a trigger off, and then you might just follow up with your friend, say, oh hey, I have my cousin in there. She just logged in the other day. She's been there for 2 years. Now I know. Well, maybe she's starting to look again. You know, like. But
So
if
you don't ever use MLS searches?
I do if I have to get one, if it's somebody I know so close that I don't care, or I still should have them in there though, because they're gonna get other stuff like, you know, that they'll see. So I have people telling me like, I see you everywhere, because like we have company ads, but they'll get an NJRP ad or video when they go to play Words with Friends or whatever games they're playing. Like the ad network that we pay for, it just puts it in front of them, so they'll see a lot of NJRP stuff, which, you know, it's gonna have there's a model that did all the videos, like they hired to do all the videos, like the price adjustment videos and stuff like that, and that's the video they get served, but it'll have the NJRP stuff and they'll know what's associated with it.
Yeah, has anybody been on Facebook and seen the NJRP ads for a woman that says, you know, thinking about selling your home, blah, 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 blah?
No.
Right, you've seen it?
I haven't.
Okay.
Can we
Yeah,
not
they're
use
on
that as our,
You mean share it?
yeah,
You
like,
can share it.
can we not use it so it's directing people to our website? Or is
You
it
might
gonna
be
come-
able to. I gotta see
That I
it.
don't know.
You should
No, but I
have.
think it's the same anyway, because once it hits the homepage, right, don't the leads just pour into our system and get trickled out? Because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
text
but-
me every now and again you tell me to call somebody.
Well, that's because I get an email alert saying that this person is looking for a CMA,
Mhm.
or this person wants to be contacted because they're looking to buy.
Well, we also buy seller leads too, so there's just very few
Right.
of them that come in.
So when I get those, the first thing I do is check the system to see whose lead it is, and then I forward it to you or to Antoinette or whoever, or you or whoever.
But ideally, every day you'd be working out of here, so you don't have to, like, Alan's doing that because not everybody's logging in. He wants to make sure you guys have the best chance of converting. If you guys are really living out of the system, you really have nothing else that you need this for. I mean, this will handle the whole pipeline from initial conversation to close. Now, if there's a transaction management stuff, that wouldn't be handled through this software. It's not going to tell you to check on attorney review or anything, but it's designed to help you close leads. And what GGMS does is They're familiar with Sierra. They're very close. They have a big partnership with them. They build stuff on top of Sierra that further automates things.
And what's different, right? That's what everybody, you know. if
These
you
are the
met with us,
updates for the
that's
new
what
system.
you would want to know. So one thing that we like to look at here is automated lead prioritization. I mean, that's really what we're doing. We're using automation to prioritize the best people inside, put them in front of you and your agents to make sure that you're getting an at with that opportunity. So with that, the first thing on this list, phone call and task alerts, and they're time sensitive. That's by far the biggest enhancement to the system that we made in version 8 is that thing right there. Call and task alerts, time sensitive. What does time sensitive mean? Time sensitive means these are tasks that are applied plan. The action plan allows us to remove task if it's not completed in X amount of days. This is for a couple different reasons. Number one, it's going to keep the database clean. When you log in, you're going to see just what you need to be working on right then, the people you need to be calling, you need to be doing. If you miss out because you're on vacation for 2 weeks and you come back, when you get down, you're going to know exactly what you need to be focused on.
It's going to
Not a
delete
bunch
out
of
the
old
task if
tasks,
you
not
don't
things
do
to
it
go,
within a certain
exactly
period of
what you
time.
need to be doing.
Somebody
The
sets off
second
a
part
filter or
is that
trigger.
you only have a window of opportunity to reach out to that person that they're going to be able to rate in marketing, but make that connection and know exactly who it is and why you're calling and what it's about. If you try to reach out to somebody, and we've seen this happen, 30 days later about a form that was filled out, 60 days later about a form that was filled out, and the person tells you no, well, of course, they don't remember. That was 30 days ago. That was a month ago that they filled that out. I mean, imagine if you went onto a website, filled out a form, and then somebody reached out to you a month later, right? Like, you expect somebody within a day, 2 days, 3 days to contact you. You expect that I just filled this out. If it's the weekend, we get it. But, you know, that's the time sensitive nature of this. We did some automation enhancements. We simplified the smart filter dashboard, added a cache for strategy, updated the market watch video. So now we've got a new market watch video and script. Zillow call alerts. So now all new Zillow leads will be getting Zillow call alerts. So that's a lot for people that are investing money with Zillow. We added nudge action plans. They're text only campaigns that run for 6 months. And you can apply those to leads. You can apply them in bulk. You can kind of keep people out of your filters for a little bit longer there. We introduced some actions that you can use on some different statuses: active, closed, sphere of influence, pending. So streamline the whole GGMS Assist process. If you're one of our GGMS Assist users, that thing just got a whole lot
We don't do
simpler
assist, by the way,
for
so
you, for us,
that doesn't
for
apply
the
to us.
agents, just everybody involved. We removed all signature lines from all emails. So all of that stuff that was going out before looked a little crazy, it's gone. And tons of bug fixes, grammatical errors, and we love the and more. What is that? I don't know. It's a mystery, right? We're just gonna, and more.
Real quick, Mike, let me add to this. The
Yeah.
nudge plans, and then the other couple of action plans that we've added that you see there: nudge, text only, active, closed, SOI pending. Those are all manually assigned action plans that you'll have a choice to make if you want to use them or not. And there's lots of reasons why you would or wouldn't. And then you can modify them, but they're there now.
Some of this might have sounded like gibberish because it was updates, but now he's going to get into the lead status definitions. This is what I really wanted you guys to hear.
And those are things that will be applied manually, not by the system automatically.
And I'll get the cheat sheet for you that I already mentioned.
Yep. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump into part 1. And with this, I'm gonna let Josh break down status definitions and walk through that. Josh, go ahead and explain the 3 types and let me know when you're ready to jump into looking at the actual definitions.
Yeah, so in our system, the most important thing, especially for a new team member coming on, or maybe your rock star agent who doesn't want to get all involved in all those super detailed things that are possible but not necessary, the number one thing and that is mandatory is these lead status definitions. With an automated system like we have, we just have to be able to know what to track for, who to engage with, and what to say to these groups of people. So we use these lead statuses as the foundation for this. We have these monitor lead behavior, assign tasks, automatically engage and nurture the contact using a mix of text and email messaging. Our sensitive statuses are going to monitor using automation for lead behavior and assign tasks if needed, but we will not automatically engage with those people. We're gonna let you engage with them because sensitive statuses basically mean it's no longer as appropriate for automation to run on them, which is why no matter who you are and what team, as long as you move your leads to the right status, we can help you make more money. Disqualified, automation is gonna monitor for lead behavior and assign tasks if needed, but we will not automatically engage these contacts either. In this system, and it's surprising to most, but sometimes you guys will put people in like a do not contact, and then all of a sudden that person fills out a form somehow, some way, and comes
Showing
back in your
request.
life. So
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. Like a showing request. I mean, they'll do crazy things in some instances. Yeah. Junk.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's weird, but we need to know
Yeah.
about it. So we just want to get your eyes on that person at that moment. If you want to do something with them, great. If you have a personal reason why you don't, it's also okay. We just want to tell you that they are doing the things that you want them to do. So let's check out those actual statuses.
Yep, and the real quick thing, very important. Josh touched on this. I'm just going to emphasize it. Automations, action plans, tasks, they're all driven by the lead status. If you put leads in the wrong status and they get an irrelevant message, it's because they're in the wrong status. If you just put them in the right place, we're going to talk to them appropriately. We're going to stay away from them if we need to. We're only going to alert you if we need to. That's why he opened this by saying, look, if there's nothing else that you do, just learn these things. Learn where to put the people, and then we can help you nurture them. We can help alert you when people need a phone call, when they need to be followed up with, right? So.
Yeah, one of the biggest examples about this whole thing is that a lot of you either are or have a rock star on your team, and they kind of do whatever they want. And it's okay because they sell a lot of houses, right? So even that person, the only one thing that person has to participate in is using these status definitions, because if you do and you put them in the right place, we can prompt you, basically anybody who's good at sales can take as an example. If we give you a task for a person who's looked at a property 5 times or more, this agent doesn't know anything about that, but he goes in and he goes, oh, this guy looked at the same house 5 times. He calls him, boom, sets an appointment. As long as he moves that lead over to Prime, which is where people who have agreed to an appointment go, then our system will react properly. So in our status definitions, it goes like this. New leads are going to be in new for the first 45 days. And during that time period, you're going to try to reach out to them by phone calls. You're going to be sending text messages if they've opted into that, hopefully on an e-alert, which is a property list, and maybe even a market report. You don't move them manually out of new until you have a conversation through text, email, or phone that based off of whatever other status definition fits, that's where you move them to. So our system's going to automatically move them over to qualify, where they're going to join the rest of your unresponsive leads. So your new leads that come in, even though they're new, and that's really awesome that they got here, but they're still unresponsive and not talking to you, which is exactly what Qualify is doing as well. So we kind of treat these two both the same through
I think he just said that they'll move it to qualify for you. This is version 8 now, right? Didn't he just say that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That once it goes from new, if they're still unresponsive, they'll automatically. So you don't have to do it. If it's new after 45 days, if you haven't changed it, it'll change.
the automations that we run. Basically, we're trying to trigger these people into a reaction or a response so that we can then engage with these people more. Active leads are your hand raisers. Like, without all like the super detailed version of what we want you to do, just think of it like this. New and qualifier strangers, we're trying to trigger them. Active are the people that you've talked to somehow, some way, through text, email, or phone, that didn't tell you to get lost, right? So basically, positive communication. I hope that that's the case. But the truth is, we just want a bucket for you to put the people that you know have not told you to get lost through communication. Prime leads, now this is a pretty strong definition here, 90 days or less. And these people, we are not going to reach out to automatically. We're going to monitor everything that they're doing. We're going to assign tasks so that you get your eyes on these people. And we're going to make sure that we respect the relationship that you're building there. So new, qualify, and active, that's kind of where we really shine. That's our job. And you're going to help us along the way because you're going to make these targeted call tasks with the people in new and qualify and active. And the whole goal of all of this is to get them to agree to an appointment or to tell that they're within the 90 days or less from transacting. So Prime leads, they may be working with their lender, but basically, mentally, they've taken the internet relationship to the real world, and that's what these prime leads are gonna be. Now, at all times while you're trying to communicate with your prime leads, if they start feeling like they're ghosting you, or maybe they tell you that they're 90 days or less, or they agree to a meeting, you go meet with them and it turns out they're not actually 90 days or less. Drop them back down to active as soon as you possibly can, because inside of active, we're gonna be checking in with these people. And that's where we're going to, kind of try to prompt them to re-engage or prompt you to engage. But that's what we're going to be doing with our actives and our prime leads. Pending is where this is basically under contract. So on the buy side, it's easy to understand this. They found the right home, they've made an offer, and that offer has been accepted. So now we're under contract, we're under agreement, we're waiting for something really good to happen so we can close. Or if you're a pet, pending leads for sellers, though, this is where they go when you take the listing. You still haven't sold it yet, because if so, they go to close. But now, just like on the buy side, you have an actual deal that's waiting to happen, and hopefully if it's priced right and all those other things take place, you're gonna get to close. Closed, and also pending, we're not gonna reach out to these people at all. This is where you should be shutting down things and really focusing on not letting this deal fall apart, whatever that is, buy side or sell side. Closed is for your past clients. This is not a place where somebody who told you that they purchased with somebody else goes. This is literally your book of business, the people that you've closed. And then archive, for an agent level user, should really just be their sphere of influence. For a team leader, you might have other agents in archive, and you might have vendors and lenders and things like that. If you do, they need a remove from GGMS tag, and they can be in archive, they could be in the pond in archive. But anyways, this is the foundation of how we build this all-in-one communication system. It's status driven, and how we treat these people and the things that we're gonna say is directly dependent upon you manually moving these people to where they need to be in your database. That's your status definitions.
So what do you guys?
Hold on, don't.
You guys follow that so far?
Yep.
Everything.
That's actually really helpful because there's a lot of statuses and they kind of don't make any sense.
Yeah.
So now they all make sense.
And then once you get to Prime and above, they're not going to get any automated Prime might get something like every month, like, hey, how's it going? But it's very generic, where they're just touching them and not even with details, because they know you have a relationship and stuff wouldn't make sense. The only difference between what I kind of explained earlier and what he said, active, I guess if you have a warm conversation and you don't get their criteria, you could still move them to active, but he said it helps to have that custom search set up. So that's that. This is just the last few. He's probably going to talk about this for a minute or two.
We got a couple other ones disqualified, right? That's the third bucket here. So Josh just went over the engagement ones and the sensitive ones. This is disqualified. Watch junk, DNC blocked. DNC and blocked, pretty self-explanatory. Junk, that's where we're going to put people who have already purchased or sold with another agent. So if they've transacted somewhere, we're going to put them in junk. And then that's going to be a hunting ground that we can go to later. We can try to pull some of those deals out of there. And
the ability to visit the site.
That was my
the
question.
NJRP site.
Yeah, that would be if somebody creeped you out, they're sending you
block them so they have to go to Zillow.
Block
yeah, they
them
can't even go to
entirely.
your site anymore. Yeah. Do not call as if they opted out receiving marketing emails and tech, automatically opted out of. If they're on the do not call list, I guess it'll just take. They don't want to mess with a potential fine.
Yeah.
Somebody already purchased and sold their junk, but so when you get incoming messages from these people, there's going to be a chart, and these are the common answers. I bought with somebody, my cousin's an agent, all that stuff. There's specific reasons why you don't just toss them all out and not. If you're putting them in watch your junk, again, like you said later, you go fishing in that pond later on, right? So if we don't mark them appropriately, so there's actually things like a set of documents you print in the GGMS that will kind of tell you how to handle those. But there's only a common, like 10 common answers that people give you, yes, send me info, I'm just window shopping, all that stuff. and you know,
Fuck off.
exactly, yeah. So like, those are different buckets that you're gonna place people in.
Hey, Jay, I got a quick question. So the DNC and blocked, or especially the blocked, right? It says it's blocked the ability to visit the site. We have the ability to delete leads too.
No, but if you delete them, they can still go to your site. This is like, say somebody was being
Yeah.
like, say somebody was harassing somebody.
Right. Okay.
Say somebody's like just like sending like crazy messages or something.
You just block them and you can never get back on the site.
Well, I mean, they can create another account and stuff.
Right.
but
I
they can't
understand that.
easily, they can't easily get back on the site.
I go about as deep as junk. You know, like
Yeah, well, I mean, depending on what it is. I mean, if you're
Block
making a lot of
Well,
calls,
you have to be careful with DNC because if someone's actually on the do not call list, they really can. Like, if you keep sending them shit, they can and will find you.
but do not call is do not call, so you can mark them that, and I think you could still automatically.
I've never had
ops,
anyone answer
yeah,
saying I'm on the
listen.
do not. Actually, I've never had anyone answer.
When they say do not contact me, I put them in there.
Yeah,
But then it also gives you the option to then click on do not receive the marketing emails and texts too, to not let them get anything.
right, exactly. Because if you technically don't have to stop emailing them if they're on do not call.
But
Right, it's
technically, if
different.
they reached out to you, technically it's
Yeah.
a fine line because they reached out to you. So
Well,
it's a,
these are inbound, but yeah, they did give their info at some
You're
point.
not on do not email.
But you might keep in mind, you might be using the system to do a farm, right? Like we pull that data from the tax records, we put everybody in or what we can get from Cole, and you start building your farm in here. That's going to be a group of people too. So they might say, "Hey, I never gave you my info" or whatever. Like the internet leads are like they did give us something to reach out to them. So
assuming it's internet leads.
assuming it's internet, yeah, you can have open house leads in here for sale by owners, expireds. You can you should manage your whole business in here, so everything's all in one place. So it's easy, and you log in, and this is your 2 to 3 hours prospecting time a day
When you say in here, you mean Sierra.
in Sierra. Yeah. So,
Just trying to eliminate the gray language because we're talking about so many different things.
yeah. So essentially, it's make sure everybody's got the proper status and kind of. You'll learn it, but it's pretty self-explanatory, most of it, now that once you know it,
Is this new for you guys? With the statuses?
I mean, I knew about them, but they were always kind of like wonky to me for me to decide which bubble to put them in.
Yeah, you
next.
would just like pick one, right? Based on the
Or
Or
color.
I would just let it roll.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. With the status is not interested is different than don't call me. Not interested is gonna get a 6-month delay or whatever,
Right.
and you're gonna call them back later because they just said I'm not interested. They didn't say
Don't call me.
They didn't say F off.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
when you have a lead open, I don't know if I'm getting off the path of what is going on here, but when you have a lead open and they have all the blurbs on the top right hand corner,
Mhm.
GGMS, Homedale, Middletown, lead never responded, like those little bubbles there.
Those
So-
are tags, yeah.
Yeah, the tags. So if you delete any of those or whatever, does that like trigger and set off different things? Like, because I've deleted some of those tags before.
Some of them may.
So like, does it do anything, or am I just deleting it for myself?
Well, some of them are informational for you, and some of them I think are related to processes that would be.
Like, so if I actually talk to someone and it said lead never responded, if I log a call, is that going to delete itself from that tag, or do I need to delete the lead never responded tag? Or does that not do anything anyway?
Well, why would you delete it after one phone call? I guess would be
That-
the question.
That's a little deeper on. I'd have to just. We have to just.
If I talk to them, that means they responded to me, right?
Right.
So I don't know if like having that tag there prevents them from getting certain things when they did answer me.
No, wouldn't that be active?
Right, then you would change the
But
status.
that's not the status. I'm talking about the blurbs, the tags in the top right hand corner.
What the
not
hell
the
is that?
When you have the do you have your thing still open?
Have you gotten to this yet, the blurbs?
the
tags.
tags. I don't know if they're going to cover that today,
You
but
have to go to the main page.
I mean, I touched on them before when I said that it'll have information about where it came from. But I don't. That's something we might want to ask them directly, or we could just try it to see.
You know what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah.
Just click anybody.
Yep.
So yeah. So
Try to turn somebody who bought with someone else or sold with someone else
No.
into a transaction of our own.
Leads.
Watch, that's all outbound
This.
referrals, linked leads, working with another
They have
agent.
all
We're gonna put that
leads
all
here.
in Watch. That's
like
where
if
that's gonna
you're
go.
deleting
Hold on.
something.
So, how do you update lead statuses?
Okay, Heather, so.
See how they have all the tags here, and like this one says lead never responded here. Well, if I did speak to them and I don't delete that, or if I do delete it, does it do anything?
well, I don't know if it'll automatically take it out. Like if you log that you talk to them.
Yeah, so
Okay.
do we delete that, or do we put a note in that
Well,
we've
let me log the
spoken to
call and see what
them?
happens.
We would have to try logging a call and see if
I'm
it
gonna
takes
do
it
that.
take it out, and then again if there's like a specific question like that and I don't know the
Or
answer,
just click the X?
these guys are live almost every day, and you can just get them on the.
They are every day, I
Yeah.
think, Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock.
And you can just they do Q&A every day. They're very easy to access. That's what I mean. Once you get it, it's like they're very engaged with the community of people, and I mean people are loving it. You know, so
I just logged the call. I did a couple.
you see.
Maybe refresh the page.
Let us know what happens with that if you remove and.
Yeah, like figure it out on your time.
Maybe just refresh it.
No. Just try it.
Fuck off, Preston.
Right.
All right, so
Some of us are
Put
trying to
Preston
watch
in
a
the
video
DNC or block.
that we could have watched earlier
Well, you know,
today.
when you have questions
What?
about this later, I'm gonna tell you to shove it, cause I was asking, you shut
You're
me
gonna tell
down.
the first part.
Okay, so I logged the call and it did not get rid of that lead has never responded thing, so we have to
Okay.
take them off.
yeah, and most of the time, so there's gonna be when you get the I think when you get the responses, most of the responses are gonna be to text or email, and then eventually you'll get them on the phone on a few. That's probably gonna have a different
That's my
pattern.
question. Like, does that do anything now?
It shows remove tags, yeah.
Well, if you remove the tag, I probably won't
Yeah,
stop
but does
the.
it do anything
So does
in
it
the
do anything?
background?
You just removed it, right?
It
Oh, you
probably
removed it,
won't.
I
sorry.
had to remove it manually.
So what happened with the?
If you
Is
log-
anything transpired as
logged
far as
the-
the plan?
I don't know about the plan, I didn't get that far, I don't wanna interrupt right now, but it didn't remove it automatically when I logged the call.
Yeah, again, not everything is connected because it's GGMS and then there's Sierra. So there's sometimes like when you make if there's a task to call somebody and you log the call, it doesn't delete the task. You have to go check the task as being complete. You know, you would think you might have that logic built in, but you might have to make that crossover. So yeah,
It's really simple. We're gonna go over 2 examples on this slide here. But basically, anywhere that you see the status drop down inside Sierra, you can do this, right? Almost anywhere that you see the status, the lead status, you can click on it. It'll give you a menu, and then you can update the status. 2 screenshots, the dashboard level. The other one's at the lead profile level. You can also do this in bulk from out at the main dashboard, meaning you can select a group of people and then you can update all of their statuses at once. So if you need to move a bunch of people from one place to another inside your base, it makes it easy to do it in bulk. But this is where you're primarily going to be doing this. You're going to be doing this from the dashboard of the profile. That's the way you're going to do that. So smart filters, right? Smart filters are important. We talked about lead statuses and how important they are. Smart filters
Let me just tell you guys real quick. I'm gonna switch to this to show you where the smart filters are because he's assuming you already know. So they control part of what GGMS does. Like I said, they're giving us the system and using Sierra. So they've customized. They have we give them access to our account and they customize how some things look in our account. And what I mean by that is nice mountains. All right. When you go to the lead dashboard, which like I said, that's just by clicking here, and you have all leads, right? Then you have different things like FSBO X, priority tasks. So if somebody,
So when we log in, theoretically, we want to go to priority or just go on what first pops up on our dashboard when we first log in.
Yeah, you're gonna go left to right. So essentially,
All leads. You start off with all leads.
It's
Yeah.
like when you get into it, I don't know why FISBO Expo is showing first there, but it should be your priority task because that's the most important thing to get done. And then it's call your new people that haven't responded yet.
Yeah, that's
And-
different. That's not the way it used to look.
And then it's going to be call your qualifieds based on that. And when you look at it, it's not just a list of qualified, it's a list of qualified that meet a certain criteria that makes them the best people to try to call. And if you log all your calls, the texts are automatically logged in the emails, it will build that list. But if you don't log your calls, it's not going to know you called them. So once you call them, it'll take them out of your filters for a while because you don't have to call them again until the next time you're supposed to follow up with them. And these guys, because they're colder leads, because haven't responded the first 45 days, they're not going to have you call them once a week. They might, in the beginning, try the first 5 weeks or 9 weeks that you're going to give them a call a week, or even more frequent. But once you get to 45 days, it's going to be more like one a month. Once you log it, it'll pull them out of that filter for a month, if you log it. So priority tasks are going to be if somebody set off a filter. So this guy, there was a message 3 days ago. I'm going to try to figure this out for you, Antonetta. Let me just see. Did he email or other tasks? Let me just see. The phone call task was... Well, this is longer. Did you ever get, like, there's AJ Cookies had a showing request in February.
Yeah, sometimes I email them
Oh, here.
on my own, so I don't know what happened.
So Isaiah Miller set off, this is your phone call task. That other was, I guess, showing requests and stuff, but he set off a task. Lead return to site after 30 or more days of not being on the site. So that, the system determined that's a good time to reach out and call them. That call will stay in there for, like they said, it's time sensitive. It'll eventually, if you don't do it, it's going to remove itself from the list because it too much time has passed that it's not likely not going to be your best use of time. So this woman,
Oh, I have to change her to fine.
so yeah, she viewed a property 3 or more times.
Well, you know her?
It's just someone that I've talked to and have talked to about properties, so she shouldn't be underactive, right?
Well, if you talk to her but you haven't gone out yet, she stays active until you are going out with her.
All right, yeah.
Because it's still going to send stuff. Let's see what she has on active because she should have some stuff planned to go out. This stuff all stopped. This stuff is going out.
I can't see what you're doing.
Oh, sorry. Hold on 1 second. I gotta find it anyway. So now they're getting stuff like once a month. But I'll show you what the type of stuff she gets. Because she hasn't started going out with you yet, right? So it's still kind of a cold lead, but you kind of know a little bit about what she's looking for,
Yeah, she's just not in a hurry.
right? So,
She's one of those, like,
They all not.
None of them are. Up
You know.
until there's one they like with a bunch of offers on it.
access our free video series that covers everything you need to know before buying a home, right? That's going to be one of her messages she gets. Check out these video resources with various tips. What steps should they take before making an offer on your next home? That's an email. I have to see the exact, but you can see it's stuff like that doesn't really. It's going to continue to build a relationship, no matter what you said to her, you know. So back to.
So wait, scroll down. There was an email that said, hold on. Something about lenders. Does that go up a little bit? Where the hell is it? Up. There.
Right there, thinking about
April
buying.
18th, thinking about buying, connect with the best lenders in your area for a free consultation. It's the second one down.
Yes.
So when they open that, is that going to be like what kind of links for lenders?
It's gonna be a video, I think, and they're gonna have to fill it out, and then you'll know they filled out based on that video, it'll create a task, and then you have to go connect them with the lender, I think.
Okay. You should be able to see what the email looks like if you click on it.
Yeah, it was just, what plan was she on? Buyer?
Active.
She was active.
Buyer act, let me just see. There's different ones. It could be a buyer nudge. No. And that might be an older plan too that she was on, fully automated.
If you go to her basic page on the bottom, all those little bubbles might show up which plan she's on.
Now, how do you pick a plan?
No, so most of them are going to be automated.
They all just get put on a plan?
Yeah, either
great.
that or
Based
you're
on
going to
the
tell what
status.
response they gave you.
Okay.
And then there's a little chart you follow, and then you would do based on what response they, if they manually did it, you would do it based on the response. If they say I'm working with an agent, there's gonna be a plan for that and put them on junk.
Oh, so you only change the plan if they respond. Otherwise, let the
Plan
plan
go out, and then and that says that they're gonna get into it soon. But say you had a long list of people that are qualified to reach out to, and you didn't have time to call them, you could just, if they're not, you could see what plans they're on, but you can add another plan on top, like a nudge plan, like I just said, and just put them on that, and then that'll keep them out of your call filter for like a month or two, and it'll automatically just reach
Send
out
them
to them
info.
for you.
Yep.
Let me just see. Yeah, I have to find. I can find later, but yeah, it would probably be a link to those videos, and that's the lender video. Let's go back here.
Because that one was actually scheduled to go out in April, so that didn't even get sent to her yet.
Right.
Okay.
So the next important thing, right?
Because
So as long as you know your statuses, as long as
she
you
hasn't
have
gone
your,
out with that person yet, so that's still kind of a relevant thing. Or I mean, I don't know if you got to the point of pre-approval, you're probably going out with them. Is I guess what they figure, you know. So I mean, if you gave them a lender, it's probably gonna the video is probably just gonna reinforce that and say, hey, we have the best lenders, you know.
Okay.
And if you didn't feel like you're pressured, you can always send them an email or a text saying, okay, do you have a lender? Are you pre-approved? If you don't mind me asking, who with, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you could always override that, yeah. So then just to kind of, now that you guys know where the dashboard is
for
like.
people where they need to go. The smart filters are driven by this and are going to find people in your database that need to be engaged with through these filters, right? So you can see here we have some that say new or qualify, active, prime. It's all status driven. So as long as you're putting the people in the right statuses, your dashboard and your filters, they're gonna be correct. 3 different types at the end of the day that are inside of our system. One type is task, meaning inside that filter you're going to have a bunch of tasks to do. If you do those tasks, they'll fall out of that filter. The next type is engagement. And so you'll see in the new system in version 8, on the actual smart filter, it'll call, or it'll say call text plan, or it might just say call text. So depending on the filter, we're gonna tell you the methods at which you can reach out to that group. Some methods are more manual, some are more automated. Some go on for a long time, some are a one-off shot. At the end of the day, it's up to you. It's that whole different strokes thing. Like, you figure out the version of it that you like best. Maybe you don't text overages, make the phone calls. Maybe you don't like putting them on a long plan, then just do a one-off text. Maybe you want to have custom messaging, then just send the contact template, and you can send your own contact templates. You come up with your own versions. We're just finding and isolating that group of people who needs messaging right now. And that's the important part. The messaging must be the status that they're in. You're not going to send something that you would send to a closed person to a new person, or vice versa, right? And then the last type of smart filter that we have is lead maintenance. So this is where you're going to find things like duplicate leads, or people that are property search but they're not. By supposed to, that means that their status is a place inside the database that we believe a search should be on them. They're not opted out of receiving that search, and they don't currently have one on them. That's what puts them inside that filter. So they're super powerful. You can all advanced search that's in the top right to see what's included in the filter. But just know that at the end of the day, we've spent a ton of time analyzing how these filters should be built, who they should go after, what should be sent to them. And we got it dialed in for you. If you hold our hand and trust us and jump, it's going to be good, right? It's going to be really good. So contact templates.
Let me just add to that just a brief description mentally with the smart filters. Just think of it like this. We are scanning your entire database at all times, looking for signs of life, and we're going to put those people who are doing things of value in your priority task filters over there on the left-hand side. The other filters are designed, like Mike was saying, but one piece that I wanted to focus on is these are the things that are going to protect you from over-engaging with leads that you've already engaged with. So each one of these filters is identifying people who need to be reached out to based off of a status that they're in because they're not engaging to the level of reaching a task, an assigned task and things like that. But even if you wanted to go do some hunting on your own, start with these filters because it's going to tell you the people in this status of Prime, as an example, that you've not engaged with in the past X amount of days, right? So this is going to prevent you from sending too many things or calling somebody too many times. So it's really your major focus is just, we're just telling you who they are and we're giving you a bunch of options of how to engage with them. And then we're going to track that activity and hopefully get them that priority task filter.
Yep. So contact templates, we install a bunch of contact templates inside your system. When you're on a lead profile screen, and we're going to show you in the nudging your database area here that's coming up shortly, we're going to show you how to do this in bulk. What you're seeing right now is on a lead profile screen. So this is a single lead where you would be sending a contact template to them. So in the middle of the screen, you have a couple different options in Sierra when you're on that lead profile. One of them is to send a text message, and you can choose a template. And when you select template, you're going to see all of these templates pop up. And it's a way for you to...
So he didn't really say it, but see where it says quickly respond to a lead using a pre-written template? So there's a coding to this, which they'll explain in a minute, and you just learn. One of them are the engage, remember engage, disengage, those different status type things. They tell you when you mouse over, it'll tell you which people this is meant to be sent to, because you wouldn't send one to a Prime lead that said I'm just working with an agent or whatever. So
really, it seems like there's a lot of mastery in making sure that the status is right, paired with this. And if you just do those two things, all you have to do is really wait for a response. Everything else kind of runs.
Pretty much. And then the more you learn, there's some things you can do like suggesting properties, stuff like that, which once you know how to do it, you could do it whenever you want. But that'll be with your more engaged leads anyway. Because the truth is, until they're really getting to that point where they're going out with you, the system's doing most of this stuff, right? And now this has uncovered more opportunities by nudging. Say you just wanted to send a text out to all your qualifieds, like, hey, I got time to show houses this weekend or whatever. There's pre-ones that are already built that make sense for each status that you could use to nudge that status along.
You can do a mass one to all of them?
Yeah, and they explain that right here. Is this still good? They'll get deeper, and I know it's already, so it's 4:00 right now. Do we want to keep going with this? Do we want to get a Q&A?